Welcome, 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 all of you title havers, title getters, whatever the other gun is called, I don't remember. Welcome back to Erico Blueberry. It's an unassuming Destiny podcast. My name is chillybin.
It's a mech.
Based on that title reference. It's Guardian Game season, baby. The time of year is upon us once again. It's a new season. Basically, everybody's trying to undermine warlocks or hunters. I don't know. It seems like there's some collusion happening. It's Guardian Games. You put medals in a thing, the flag go up. There's not much. There's not much to it. Come on. But we have a couple of weeks of stuff to catch up on. Stumbling over my words already. Because you were out sick last week, I think, and
I was out sick, and then last weekend was just
busy
gigs for me.
Busy real life fun stuff, and that happens. So I think I'm just gonna give ourselves a blanket amnesty here. There were some big articles that dropped, the classic mid-season balance patch. Here's a bunch of fucking patch notes. I haven't read them. You haven't read them, as far as I know.
I gave the accessibility one a glance over.
Yeah, that one I do want to talk about, but the other one of numbers and percentages and stuff being tweaked.
We're not a numbers podcast. No, people know that by now.
No, there was one that dropped this week that's all around ability tuning, but that's coming next season, so we've got time to read it. Who knows? It'll probably still feel much the same as a lot of these things tend to. But anyway, it is probably worth talking about very quickly. A couple of weeks ago, we had that sort of end of season mission. It was the post-seasonal story wrap-up, vengeance for Amanda Holiday situation.
The boys are out for revenge.
Yes. How much of that do you remember now, 2 weeks later?
A fair amount.
I have barely played since that, so I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the boys basically seeking revenge, isn't it? It was me, Strax, Crow, Devrim.
Yeah,
a degree, Mara helping.
We go into a ship, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Cabal
just
ship.
Basically destroying another. I think we're destroying the main ship of that fleet. Just basically to try and strike back at the Shadow Legion.
Yes.
For what they did. I once again not really leaving the most helpful of notes. Crow has said more than 2 sentences, 2 out of 10 mission. Talking about Amanda would want this, bro, she dumped you.
Yeah.
Did you forget when she dumped you?
Oh dear.
Then following it up with this mission with Mr. Crow and Dev talking shit kind of sounds like it should have the boys are back in town playing in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very kind of a buddy cop energy to it, except there's 3 of them. So I don't know how that works out. But yeah, it was... I literally don't even remember what the combat encounters were like. I'm a bad Destiny player.
Yeah. It was just more of that clear the room, jump in the balefires?
Oh, yeah.
The things that Mara sets up.
Receive her favor.
Yeah, receive her favor. Don't mind if I do. And then the end of the mission is basically you going and getting Amanda's ship.
Yeah.
You find out that Amanda basically said, hey, if anything happens to me, give the Guardian my ship.
Yeah, so you go into the hangar, where her station kind of was. The what?
There's a shrine.
Yes. Yeah, that's was
full of lilies and peonies. It's so pretty.
That kind of caught me off guard as well.
Yeah, that put a lump in my throat.
Is it the amount of times I've run into that hangar most of the time because I'm going to find Zer, and just she's there. It's just a little red kind of metal scaffolding situation. But also
She's
like
working on a Sparrow or
yeah, whatever she's tuning up a Honda Civic engine, something like that, and just even like from that distance as you round the corner, like you could tell there was something different about the space. And then the closer you get, you're like, oh, there's all these like photos of her and like all these flowers and bits of tribute. But then to the right of that, there is very clearly a ship under a wrap, like under a cover, which was never there before, right? Or was it? I don't think so.
Not that I can remember.
And that is her ship that we get given. Because there's like a little bit of it kind of poking out the back, and you can see the shape of the back end of it.
That was very sweet. It's the towers. I feel like the next expansion is going to be really heavy, obviously, because it's
The final
shape.
Yep.
It's the end of things, right?
Yeah.
Or end of this main story, I suppose. Yes. The more shrines to lost guardians and lost
friends,
companions that keep popping up on the tower and in the Elixir zone, and it's going to be a very heavy place. Like we've got one for Cade properly now, finally.
Yeah.
And now we've got one for Amanda, and it's just like, even though her grave's in the farm, it's just how many more shrines are we going to end up with?
Here's my my outside pitch of like, this will probably not be the next one, but like, what if it's Eva Levante, and then when season of the like Halloween event comes around, Festival of the Lost, you have to fight her as like a ghostly apparition. You have to collect like cursed cookies and throw them at her.
Fucking Ghostbusters.
Ghostbuster Nana.
Oh, I went even darker. I went just any time an event is on, it's just an urn.
Just on a little pedestal?
Yeah, just an urn on a pedestal that you go talk to.
No, you take the lid off the urn, you take a little bit of the dust out, and you just, I don't know, sprinkle that on a bounty. I don't know where this metaphor is going.
You have to have a seance to fucking get your contender card. She becomes a guardian. She comes back even more powerful. God. No. Even more hornier.
No, but like fully like off your expectation, she would be a hunter.
She's awfully spry now that she's been reborn.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got like turbo knees or something. I don't know. Puts her brain in an exo. Goes down that road. Eva 1.
Oh no. The thought of her coming back as a guardian, even more powerful and twice as horny for the guardian as well. Have you gotten bigger?
No, okay. So yeah, that happens, and then once we get past the final shape and we go into whatever this game is after this saga, it turns into a dating sim, and she is like the pinnacle romance option.
Dream daddy with all the NPCs.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus. No, thank you.
No?
No, thank you.
No? I mean, who would you romance instead?
Come on now, you know me long enough. Zer, obviously.
Yeah.
Tentacles.
Yeah.
That'd be Shax.
Yeah, true.
An older, larger man that makes me feel tiny.
Yeah.
Who says unhinged shit.
Yeah. He's got that one horn on his helmet, if you know what I'm saying.
Let me fix him.
Let me fix his broken horn. Wait. See a doctor. What were we talking about?
Amanda's ship. We once again took a very sad storyline and made it just unreasonably cursed for no reason. Just because we can.
Yep. Yes. So we did the mission and then got the ship. And that was kind of it, right? There was a couple of bits of like, go and talk to Zavala, do a thing. But the main end was like, here's Amanda's ship, read the lore tab, look at the shrine.
Yeah. Crow basically being reminded, hey, remember how she dumped you because you killed her best friend?
Yeah. Yeah. Very good stuff. A minor, let's see, technical production note from me before we move on. The last episode we recorded was the first one I edited on this new PC with this fucking Waterforce nonsense GPU.
This fucking
So like,
what a Kamen Rider fucking
yes,
belt of a GPU.
yeah. I mean, our episodes are like usually around about an hour. But running the render on that GPU using the new like AV1 codec, it spat it out in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Legitimately insane. Because what I'm so used to doing is like I'll start that render. I basically can't do anything on the PC that I would want to kill time. Like I can't play games because I need the GPU for rendering. So I'll like, I don't know, go make some coffee and like do some chores. But then I was like, oh, it's done. I've like gone and made my coffee and now I can just start uploading it. It was so good. I'm very happy about that.
I'm sorry, but like I call what I need to do around the house housework.
Yeah.
And it's just every time a fellow adult calls them chores, my brain immediately just goes to facetious Meckii mode where I'm just like, oh, you did some chores? Did you get your gold stars for doing the dishwashing?
Me and my partner both call them chores. I don't know why. We're reinforcing each other calling it that at this point.
Just, did you get your gold star for doing the vacuuming?
Yeah, I gave myself a beer.
It's just so funny just hearing an adult be like, I had to do my chores.
Yeah. I mean, I did. I don't know what to tell you. We keep track of them on a Trello board.
I just became an adult who was in relationships, obviously not now, and just housework became the default.
Yeah, like I say that as well.
I've got to do
like,
some housework.
I say that fairly interchangeably, but I think my default, just because my partner and I both use that term, as chores.
Yeah. Or like if you're leaving the house, it's errands or life admin.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, just my brain I hear chores and I think, oh, did you get a sticker for your chart?
Yes. What if I did? What about it?
You've got a chart on your fridge.
I just do that for me. No one else is doing it. I just like the gratification. I like the reward cycle that I've built for myself.
It's a beer.
Yeah, I mean the fridge is where I keep the beer, so
makes sense.
Yeah, or just go take a shot.
Chocolate bar.
I'm just like leaning up against the counter in the kitchen, just like shot glass whiskey, just dumping it. I did a chore, get a shot.
Reinforced alcoholism.
Yeah. But the problem is like when I get like 3 or 4 chores deep, I'm fucked. I'm trying to like clean a bathroom and it's just worse than when I started.
Look, babe, I arranged our soap. It's just no nonsense ordering your shampoo.
I took all the stuff that was on the counter and arranged it left to right by how tall they are. It's not separated by whose stuff it is anymore. It's integrated.
To save space, I put both our shampoos in the same bottle. Babe, my shampoo's medicated.
They are. We couldn't get away with that.
I make that joke, but a partner of mine did that once with my prescription shampoo.
Mix it in with that like classic fucking mix it in with the shitty 3-in-1 like shampoo, conditioner, body wash combo.
Yeah. To save space, he mixed it in with his Head and Shoulders 3-in-1. Yeah. And it was like, oh, but yours is anti-psoriasis and mine's anti-dandruff. And I was like, bro,
that ain't the same
chemicals
thing at all.
in my shampoo. Yeah. Like, I don't think you should be mixing them.
This one has tar in it.
Pine tassel.
So in Destiny stuff, just to steer this one aggressively back on track, there's a whole thing about accessibility.
Yes.
Whole, like colorblind settings revamps and other accessibility changes. Yes. I'm going to guess that you've read this one.
Yeah, and I've got to open as well just to remind me. Yeah. Main things being covering some of the gaps that they had in their colorblindness accessibility. So that includes when your reticle is over an enemy, it changes color, because for some people, depending on, what was it, the
type of color blindness.
Protanopia.
Yeah.
Depending on which one you have, sometimes when your reticle is over an enemy, depending on the base color of that enemy, so let's say a Dreg, for example, because their colors are a lot of blue base, your reticle disappears.
Yeah.
So they're applying an application that it's called like reticle over enemy or something like that, which allows you to have your colorblind accessibility when you're aiming down sights and hip firing, but then when you're over the top of an enemy, that reticle is also going to adjust color so that you can continue to keep an eye on that reticle, which is great. It's great that they're identifying those gaps in their accessibility and doing what they can to fill those gaps, and then also actually talking to people with varying degrees of colorblindness to fill those gaps as well. Full auto is getting a revamp in the way that it's being called full auto firing.
Yeah.
Which is just the setting allows almost all weapons to continue firing as long as the trigger or fire button is held. Yeah. Full auto melee, which is going to be interesting.
I guess like there are cases where I've kind of wanted something like that for particularly playing Mayhem, depending on what build I'm running. Like I'm just running around punching everything or throwing frisbees, which is a grenade in that case with the Void Titan.
This is the upcoming change will allow players to have full auto mode for melee weapons, including swords and glaives.
Oh, true.
Powered melee, unpowered melee, and melee attacks while in a roaming super.
Yeah.
This setting will allow this setting will repeat the melee attack whenever it is available, as long as the melee or fire button is held.
Yeah.
It also will depend on the type of melee.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that.
Controllers, they're going to have the confirm and cancel toggle settings. A new subtle color option. That is also there to help with the HUD and color blindness and different varying degrees of blind, not just color blindness, but blindness.
Right, yep.
So obviously if people need sharper edges or sharper wording due to their level of blindness or impaired sight, that'll change as well. That includes the color of subtitles as well.
Sure. Okay.
Because obviously for varying degrees of blindness, that white is going to be pretty tricky to see on different surfaces.
Yeah, I feel like the default subtitle color is like a yellow, right?
Yeah, so this one sways more in a brown-yellow direction, which will compensate for different varying types of blindness, but also color blindness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there an option in there for like putting a background color behind the subtitles? Because I've seen that start to pop up in a number of other like games and streaming services.
Yeah, so there is a background style and background opacity that is going to be added on subtitles. So you can change the text color. So there'll be the yellow, the green, the blue, the white, the cream, and then this brown color as well.
Because like sometimes the easiest way to solve that to not have to worry about like, oh, is this color going to clash with something and be hard to read? It's just like white text, black background, and just like put a little bar at the bottom. Maybe it blocks something, but the subtitles aren't huge.
Yeah. They're also going to be tweaking the commendation colors depending on what color preset you play with, to make it easier at a glance for people with different vision, impaired vision, so color blindness and then varying degrees of blindness, to actually be able to differentiate with these cards on a quick glance as well.
Yeah, because like they have distinct symbols on them, but yeah, I am still hovering, like putting my mouse cursor over one of them to see what it's called, to be like, yeah, that's the one I meant. Like I'm not just getting it by sight yet on the symbols or the colors.
Yeah. So there is pictures in that article that I definitely recommend if you're someone with impaired vision or color blindness. Definitely go in and check those out, because that is going to allow you to actually change the colors of the base color of the card will stay the same, the brightness, and then also where it swings RGB wise.
Yeah.
Is going to, or hex wise, is going to change. They've also mentioned that some of these color palettes are also a lot less harsh, even if you aren't visually impaired. So for a lot of people, the yellow on the white is a bit harsh, and a lot of people, that neon pink on the white can be a bit harsh. So you can actually take it down to and I actually really like this color scheme. One of the color schemes is like a heavily muted color scheme. So like ally is more of a teal, the mastery is more of a gold, the fun category swings out of that magenta more into like a reddy pink, and then the blue is closer to like a baby blue, darkish kind of weird color that is also just, to me, honestly, as someone who isn't vision impaired, is also just a lot
nicer to look at.
nicer and easier to look at. Yeah. There's also videos of how it will look once it's applied as well. So if the pictures aren't enough for you, definitely check out the videos just to see how it actually works in real time with your disability and your capabilities.
And I think for some of these settings, like seeing it in motion is kind of the key, right? If you're talking about a reticle changing color when it transitions into being over an enemy, it's only seeing that in motion on different types of enemies that you're actually going to be able to determine if that solves your specific problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely, I think if you do require some accessibility support, or you play with accessibility support, if you're able to, definitely check that article out. Check those pictures and videos out because they're super helpful.
And also, like, these kind of settings are not just for people that have, diagnosed disabilities. Like, sometimes I find myself a fully, like, aside from my one deaf ear, like, able-bodied in all respects, like, playing on a mouse and keyboard. There are some things where I'm, like, hitting a single button a lot of times very quickly. And there are times where I'm like, this is actually frustrating a little bit. And that is increasing over time as I get older, I guess, and the muscles age. So some of these settings may just apply to, I think, more people than they might realize.
Yeah. I mean, with my immune condition, when I'm having a flare up, I get issues with my wrists and fingers, which feels, apparently, according to people, it's very similar to rheumatoid arthritis.
Right.
When I'm having a flare up. So full older for someone like me, on days that I'm having a severe flare up, being able to turn that on and off is probably going to make my longevity being able to play the game more, I'm going to be able to play for longer, and I'm going to be more comfortable doing so.
Yeah.
Same with the color change stuff. I experience a lot of eye fatigue. I should wear glasses. I don't, because I've broken them all. Yay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get close to that point. Like, I have a very minor astigmatism in both eyes, but like nowhere near enough for me to like need to get glasses. But they're like, you should probably keep getting this checked every couple of years and see if it gets worse.
Yeah, no one can see my setup, but my monitors are really fucking close to my face. My monitors are less than
gamer mode.
Like if I put my hand out, it's just flat on a monitor. And that's because I'm blind as shit.
Yeah.
And I don't wear my glasses. And I do it at work as well. And it frustrates people because my laptop is here and then my monitors are here. I'm like boxed in. But I already utilize some of the color blindness stuff, especially with the reticles. Like my reticle is neon pink, and that's just because it helps me keep a better track of it.
Yeah.
Where I'm looking, what I'm doing, because you've seen me play. I get very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention.
Yeah. And then like outside of just in-game stuff, like I've gone to the extent of I've got this mechanical keyboard and it's got like macro keys that I can program to do whatever. So I've got like a bunch of different shortcuts set up for like getting into very specific parts of the Destiny menu system. Like that's this button over here will get me over here. And there's like tools like that out there that, even that Xbox accessibility controller, the amount of shit you can plug into that you can just remap to whatever. Like there are tools out there as well that are more like physical hardware based that can probably hook into some of this stuff as well. Because you can basically rebind any of those Destiny keys, at least on PC. I'm not sure what the console situation is. I imagine it's pretty similar.
And it's like it just makes the world a little bit more enjoyable for people who find it a little bit harder day to day.
Yeah.
And if you want to understand the joy that these subtle changes that, unless you need them, do not fucking impact you. So stop crying.
Yeah.
Just look at like Steve Saylor, for example,
Yes.
and how overjoyed he is with these changes. And look at even what Massive Monster are doing with Cult of the Lamb. They just had a huge free expansion rolled out, which was almost entirely accessibility based.
Yeah. We're going to have to take a quick break because my dog is being
Gilly
a real shit.
I thought it was mine.
No,
was
no.
like,
I'm gonna go tell him off a little bit, and then we'll come back and talk about Guardian games. I think.
Yeah.
All right. So update on the dog. The reason he was barking. This I'm fully putting in the episode, by the way. So we have like a baby gate on the door into our bedroom, so that like he's got a habit of tapping on the door. We'd rather he tap on that than the door in the house we're renting, so that we don't have to repair a door when we leave. But it had not been latched properly, so that you could just push it and it would swing open. He must have done that, and then after going it shut. No, it shut behind him. And so he couldn't get out and was just standing behind that gate, barking into the house. So I let him out. I gave him his dinner, and here we are.
He fibbed on himself. Oh, I'm in the forbidden room.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, literally. And then behind him was the cat just looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? He doesn't come in here.
That's so funny.
But we're going to talk about Guardian games. I have this glorious fucking dumb cup that turned up. And I'm going to right now see if a beer fits in it.
It looks like it's really well made.
Well, here's the thing. This just comes out. This is just stainless steel. You clean this bit, and this is like, I think they said it was like resin or something, but like careful with cleaning this one. And that just goes back in there, sort of. Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of those like Tervis tumblers and Yeti tumblers, the insert just comes out for cleaning, and a lot of people realize that, so they destroy them by putting the whole thing in the dishwasher.
Yes. Well, that's a lot of sound. So Guardian Games is back. This is me pouring a beer off camera, just in case I fuck it up. Where do you want to start?
That beer looks like creaming soda. Like proper creaming soda.
This is like
creaming soda.
German beer hall from the tower. That's what's happening.
Yeah. It's excellent.
It tastes like victory.
It's the weirdest flex. That big fucking cup.
It's funny because like it turned up and my partner was like, because like I've shown her some of the Destiny reward stuff before. She's like, oh, so you did a thing in a game last year that let you buy this. You don't just get it for doing the thing in the game. You unlock
bullying me, why?
You unlock the ability to purchase an item. I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to see my 3 raid jackets? One of them hasn't arrived yet. Anyway, Guardian Games is here. Where are we? Sorry, I'm just bringing the notes back up. Yes, so we've got strikes with scoring. It basically just seems to be the night, like it's just whatever the Nightfall strike is, right? Like it's not rotating strikes.
There's the Vanguard playlist, which is rotating.
Oh, the recreational playlist, right?
Yeah. And then the competitive just seems to be the Nightfall.
Yeah, which is basically just how the Nightfall works. It's scored and there's champs and everything.
And then there's Supremacy, which is the Crucible.
I've not tried that yet. That's a new mode, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It's
because I picked up the bounties and they refer to picking up crests. Is it kind of like
you
ever play that Call of Duty mode where you kill someone, they drop the dog tags?
Dog tags.
Kill confirmed, yeah.
Basically, it's kill confirmed, yeah. It's just basic Crucible mode. As many kills as you can. When you kill someone, they drop an engram with a crest on it, basically.
Right. I'm just going to be drinking out of this while we talk about this, by the way. This was not just a bit. I'm going to use it.
Good.
Yes.
It's like a $70 cup.
Yep. Before shipping, I don't actually remember what it cost. Anyway, I don't want to remind myself.
So they're the 3 basically things that you do to fill out your contender cards and get your Get your medals and put your medals in the hole.
Get your gear. Yeah,
so flag go up.
That part is unchanged. Like, you're collecting the medals, and there's like the 2 rows of 4 chests, depending on if you do like the weekly platinum score threshold. So like if you do one of the competitive strikes above the platinum score threshold, you're going to get all 4 of those, and it resets weekly for the 3 weeks of the event.
Something like that, yeah.
And then the other side is the Crucible side, right?
Yeah.
Based around the Supremacy. It's like 2 separate quest tracks. So I've done one of them because I like ran the strike earlier a couple times just to like get a feel for this Guardian Games event. And then the second run I did, we hit platinum right at the end of it. So I was like, cool, I'm going to go pop my 4 chests. And I got fucking like 8 copies of that scout rifle. Which, so yes, we have the title is back and it's dropping. But for me, at least, what is dropping more is this Strand Scout Rifle. The name, I want to call it Terrazippos and pronounce the X like a Z, because otherwise it's Tarax Ippos, because there's a double P.
Yeah. No,
Terrazippos? Tarazippos. Tara's Hippos. OS. Yeah, like I went and popped those 4 chests for doing the strike platinum thing, and I swear I dropped like 6 just from that alone, and like 3 of them were masterworked. So I just got a bunch of cores out of that. That was pretty neat. I have been putting my titles in the vault because I thought we would have a little race to see who can get the most.
Yes. Well,
I have 4.
What did I put last check? 7.
Okay. I have to remind myself that you're good at this. You're good at doing this with the game.
I was trying to see if I could find the way to pronounce that gun. In Greek mythology, it doesn't tell you. Taraxipus, horse disturber.
Hold on. What?
It's identified as a ghost or a dangerous sight, blamed for frightening horses at hippodromes throughout Greece.
Okay, what? I'm looking this up on another screen.
Horse disturber.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that is.
Except they've spelt it with an O instead of a U, so I don't know if maybe that is a internal reference.
I think that is definitely what they're referring to. The only horse I know of in the Destiny universe is the Star Horse.
A pillar or altar at the turning point of a course in the Hippodrome in Olympia, which is believed mysteriously to terrify the horses of the gods.
The horses of the gods. All right. We see you, horse disturber. I'm gonna call that gun horse disturber from now on.
Horse disturber.
It seems like a neat gun.
I only have 3 of those, but I have 7 titles.
I wish I was also hoarding those, because I feel like those are dropping more than titles, if I'm honest.
We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see in the next 3 weeks.
We will. Well, yeah, you'll be able to tell me. I'm just going to try and race you on titles, because, I mean, that's the meme, right? At this point, for us at least.
Speaking of titles, you are eligible for the Reveler title. How is that going?
I am. Assuming I get Champ done, which is a title I very much want. So this time around with Guardian Games, the seal, the title is just the word Champ, and I like that as a way to put someone in their place. Like,
I
nice
love
work,
that
Champ.
it's just Champ.
Nice work, Champ.
Yeah, like that's the problem too. I feel like New Zealand, Australia, and even the UK use Champ in a really derogatory way.
Yeah.
Whereas like America and other countries, maybe not so much. So I feel like
actually
it might be a little bit lost on them.
Yeah, I think too, like having watched a decent amount of Letterkenny, I feel like Canadians would probably also do the same thing.
Yeah. So I feel like I don't know. It's like, is it intentionally childish and infantile / derogatory, or
I don't
did they
think so.
genuinely not pick up that a fair few countries use that in a really derogatory way?
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to be referred to as champ, but not for a good reason. So yeah, assuming I get that done, I will get Reveler. I have done. Let's see. I played a little bit this afternoon and like very briefly yesterday morning because I went away for like a work overnight trip yesterday. I only got back this afternoon. And I've done, I think, one triumph out of 16, but I've also somehow managed to do one of the gilding triumphs for it.
Yeah, I've gilded one accidentally.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing is though, some of those titles and everything popped up a week ago, like before Guardian Games even started. So we started unlocking
some
stuff.
Some of the triumphs did for the medals, like the little, because you get like melee spree or something. Those were showing up last week. I don't think they're meant to, but the actual like Guardian Games triumphs that you need to do, they weren't in the game.
Yeah. Because I know I was doing those other ones and I was like, what the fuck is this?
What? Yeah,
and I had to go searching for it. And I was like, that doesn't feel right.
And I popped it open in the Triumph menu. I was like, oh, I know why this is here. That's a mistake, but it's ultimately harmless.
Yeah. I was like, this doesn't seem right.
So yeah, that I think is very much within my reach. As we're nearing the end of the season, I also need to finish Dredgen, and I also need to finish... I say need. Need is a strong word. I would like to finish Queensguard.
Yeah, well, I got to run a whole bunch of Defiant Battlegrounds to get that, so if you're ever down.
We've got to do like the legend version of each of them too. That should be easy to do. It's like a 3-person activity. We can get that together. But I think that sort of stuff is going to be my focus until the end of the season. It's just trying to like get those little ornaments done of like, I've got the titles, I've got the triumphs done. Like I might try and do some more of the Guardian rank stuff, but honestly, if I don't get to it, I'm fine with that. Because everybody just resets back down to 6 and then do it again. So that's fine by me. Like if I don't get around to like cracking some of the like, because I'd have to do like a GM or like get close to doing GMs to kind of push much further than I am at, what am I now, rank 7. I think to get to 8 I have to do like, it's a high level Nightfall, but it's not a Grandmaster, it's like maybe the one below that,
Legend or whatever it is.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other bits and pieces that, with how much I've played in the last like 3 weeks, I'm just like, it's not that I'm rusty, I'm just like, I'm not in the mood to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because I've been playing some other games, and then there's that new Star Wars game out that I want to try, but I also want to wait for it to be more stable. And then there's a new Zelda game coming out very soon. So like, there's other things to do. But for now, for these 3 weeks, this season, it's Guardian Games. I'm gonna be trying to smash my face against it until it's done, basically.
Yeah, I definitely want to try and get the champ title.
Yes. I don't know what the rewards, the physical rewards are like for it this time around. I don't think there's much, although I haven't looked. I'm afraid to, for fear of my wallet.
Your bank account crying.
Wait. Oh, there's just branding on the bottom of it. I was like, wait, is there something on the bottom of this cup that I didn't look at?
Imagine? There's a Gardens Game pendant, which is very nice.
I mean,
like a necklace.
I have the fucking medallion from last year as well.
Buy Amanda Holiday's pendant.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my heart. Oh.
I mean, like, I have that tankard, but also you remember the like spinning Guardian Games medallion from last year? I have that up there too.
This is a Rock Love like necklace.
Oh, like a nice little bit of jewelry.
Yeah, it's actually really nice.
Not this gaudy Flavor Flav Destiny shit.
No, it's just like a little pendant on a silver.
Okay.
The medal is back. The pin is back. That looks like that's it.
Yeah, good, frankly. I don't know, like, at this point, what would I escalate to? I've got the tankard and the medallion. Like, what's the next more gaudy and over-the-top thing? It's like surely a giant trophy of some kind? Or
Yeah,
like you know
that's
that
it, right?
the statue that's in the tower, like it's a physical replica of that.
Yeah.
Put
Oh,
it
I
next to
want
my
that bandana
Gallahorn.
though. An Amanda Halliday bandana though.
Mm.
Fuck. Very cute. Very heartbreaking. Do want.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Uh, yeah, so I'm not like none of that stuff. The reward stuff's really jumping out at me at the moment.
Yeah.
If I was going to get any more Destiny jewelry, it'd probably be the ghost necklace or the ghost earrings, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want that champ title.
Yeah. Yeah. Chillybin champ. That's what I want.
Champy bin.
Champy bin? No.
Champy bin? Champy bin sounds like anti-smoking medication. Try Champax.
It's funny, like this work trip that I've just come back from, like it was out of town and like I drove and there was like carpooling situations, and this I think was the first time that a lot of my coworkers realized what my fucking license plate is, which just is Chillybin. Like I got that on there. It got a lot of comments.
Amazing.
I had to explain the whole deal with like that being an online handle to a few people, and yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. A weird time, but a good time. Speaking of weird times, but good times.
It's definitely a little bit jarring in our friend group for me to explain to like a friend or a parent, especially when you guys were here in Brisbane, to be like, oh, Alex, another person, and Chili. Like, never first name. It was always Chili.
No.
And then I think in person I used your real name and everyone in the room went, oh.
Yeah, don't like how that came
everyone
out.
in the Airbnb went, put that back in your mouth.
Yeah, I'm having some of those weird crossovers at the moment with some of the guys down here who, like, similarly, we only go by handles when we hang out online and often in person. But then when my partner's, like, part of those, like, social settings, she's unsure which one to use. She knows both. I mean, I know both, but I only use one. And we're about to, like, start a D&D game with some of those guys, and it's been funny, like her trying to tell me who said what, and I'm like, wait, who are you talking about? Oh, it's this person. It's very hard to tell the story without just doxing people or like using names that we haven't used on the show.
Yeah.
So let's move past this. What else? Is there anything else Guardian Games wise that we've missed?
No, it's all pretty much the same decorations in the tower. Nothing new other than the tree. Same method to the madness of collecting everything and getting titles and titles and title. And then yeah, it's just fun.
I wish to be a reveler.
Yes.
And then, I mean, this is the other thing. Like, whenever I unlock those titles, I also tend to buy the fucking physical pin version of it. So that will be probably the reward for this event that I do actually purchase.
Yeah.
I think the Star Baker one is going to be here soon. I had it actually. Yeah, no, I had the Festival of the Lost one turn up just recently. These things are also sick. These things are thick.
That's what I enjoy about those pins, is they're so well made.
Yeah, and then I've got like a felt banner hanging up on the wall behind my screens here with all of the ones that I have on it. There are a few.
I want to start collecting the pins as well, but I think I'm going to purchase like just a black canvas satchel bag. And then just basically load the like front flap up of like different Destiny pins. I'm going to start with the LGBTQ one though.
I would recommend getting locking pin backs.
Yeah,
because those pins are heavy and they will fall off the little rubber gaskets that they come with. It's fine on this like felt banner that I've got because they're not moving. They're fine to just stay there. But yeah, I've definitely lost some pins in the past off bags that were not secured properly.
And I
That's very sad.
definitely want to start adding some of the Destiny pins to convention lanyards as well, just to
Yeah.
flex on some
I've
fucking
I've
nerds.
started sneaking those into mine as well, and I know that people that we work with at shows also play Destiny, and then every now and then they'll be like, "Wait, that's not one of these pins. That's a I see what you're doing."
My flex is the Palladium boots. I
Mm.
like to wear the Palladium boots when we work together because I get so many people. You see them walk past and kind of look at the boot, like, wait a minute.
I
And
think
I've had
the
a few people come up and be like, are they the Destiny boots? Do they fit? Like,
yeah,
are they worth the money? I'm like, yes, they're my favorite shoes.
my favorite one of that is like wearing the King's Fall ring to work. And I work with a few people who are pretty big into Destiny, and they're like, "Is that what I think it is?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I wear
I get to
my
be a
Vogue.
smug little fuckhead about it.
I own quite a lot of chunky rings, so I like to wear like my Vogue ring
Yeah.
amongst them and having people look at it and be
Oh, the
like, is
Vogue
that?
ring is huge too.
Yeah. And it's safe to wear.
Yeah,
The Sunset Slam one, I'm too afraid to wear it. It's a display piece entirely at this point because I
yeah,
bent the sword slightly the other day.
yeah.
So I'm never wearing it again.
I had my first experience with that recently, and I've stopped wearing it.
Yeah. But the Vogue one, despite that brass plate being a little bit rattly, it feels safe to wear.
Yeah, the King's Fall one is very pointy and sharp, and I've definitely cut myself on it because it's like that little skull shape, and like it's a big chunky thing, and it's sitting on. I think I had it sized for my right pinky, and so it's like up against my right ring finger, just like if it rotates while I'm wearing it, it'll just like scratch the inside of my other finger.
I've cut other people with some of my rings, not my Destiny rings. I got a ring that just says fuck, and that's cut a couple
Oh,
of
that's
people.
great. Oh. Yeah, I need to get some more rings. I want some shit like that. That sounds sick.
I met some people this week who have very interesting ring collections, and they provided me a bunch of links to a bunch of fun rings. So I'll
All
hand
right.
them over to you
Please,
too.
please do. Yeah. I know a friend of mine at work actually did a like ring making course, like a 1 day course thing. I think I might talk to him about that, do something similar, because that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
The photos made it look like a pretty cool experience too.
Yeah, just my new friends all have a bunch of very interesting chunky rings. So yeah.
Cool. My brain wanted me to say, speaking of chunky rings, and I didn't have anywhere to take that. So I'm just going to let that thought sit there.
Cool.
Yeah,
Glad that's percolating in my brain.
That's neat. That's real neat. What else is happening in the game? What are we trying to work on at the moment? I've just got titles I'm trying to get.
Yeah, that's basically it for me as well.
You doing your sneaky little crucible behavior?
Yeah,
Anything good there?
not really. Just being a feral little shit in Crucible. And then when you guys log on, be like, oh, I'm scared of Crucible. I don't like Crucible.
You bitch. You should be carrying us through there.
No, it's just because if I play Crucible, I've got to be in a specific mood for Crucible.
Yeah.
And usually when I play with you guys, like, we're not a huge Crucible clan. And usually by the point that we go, oh, do you want to do some Crucible? My brain is already liquid. So I'm just having a good time with it. And we use Crucible like a social thing. Like, we just fuck around.
Yeah, we're not in comp or anything.
Do it for our engrams. I load into trials by myself because I don't want to ruin friendships. Like,
yeah, it's fair. I think the time where I changed my approach to Crucible is Iron Banner, because what you have to do is basically just play a lot of it in a row, and that's the point.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like force myself into that kind of zone.
And really, the only time we all play Crucible together is Iron Banner or Mayhem.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like, I never take it too seriously. But like, for my true Sweat Lord behavior to come out, I've got to be in a specific mood.
Okay.
And usually I like playing alone because that specific mood involves me becoming very toxic as well. So
like the way I play Gambit? Yeah. Is it like that? Okay. I kind of want to see it now.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. And it's also really funny when I'll be playing like Iron Banner or Crucible with someone from the clan and they're just like, oh, fucking this gun, fucking complaining about it. And in my head, I'm like, I'm using it. It's also the meta.
That I'm that gun.
Yeah. I do that. Fucking, I'm sick of seeing Osteo me with my Osteo just like.
That was like when Dead Man's Tale first came out and every motherfucker was running that shit in the Crucible. It's still good, but it's not as good as it used to be. And like, I was that guy. It was so effective.
I've been using long arm with a good roll on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Dead Man Tale light.
Yeah, long arm with explosive payload.
That is good.
Especially when you get like a headshot or a chest shot. Yes.
Yes. The other thing I'm currently trying to do is hitting fucking pinnacle cap. I've had a good week of drops. I was at like 1809 and 1 or like just below that. And then like the next like 4 or 5 pinnacles I got were in different spots where I needed them. So now I just need one more. I need arms at 1810, and then that is done. So I'm just going to be running every pinnacle that I can this week and hope that comes my way. Because that is like mildly annoying to be this close and then just be like trying to get that one drop to just be arms. Every time one drops, I'm like, it's just getting angry at random elements.
Yeah. I just do my pinnacles and fuck around. Go full pigeon brain as usual.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do the rotation of like strikes, crucible, gambit. I still need to get dredge and gilded. So I'm going to play a bunch of gambit.
Yes.
Maybe I'll grab like a gambit contender card. I'm going to be doing both of those things either way. I might as well benefit the most. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
Motivate yourself.
Yeah, there's only a gold contender card for Gambit, I think. I think the platinum cards are like high level lost sectors, nightfalls, raids, like your typical end game sort of stuff. So if I need gold medals, I'm gonna play some Gambit.
You need to play some Gambit either way.
Well, yes, true. I want to pop that gilded title so bad. For real this time. The last time was a bug. It literally didn't count. The game was like, I don't know, I guess you can have this. You've done it 7 times before. And now I still have to prove it. I still have to show them that I'm a sweaty little rat man.
It's really funny to see someone in our clan get that taken away and then like within 2 hours pop it again. I was like, you shit.
Yeah, we've got some Gambit fiends in this house. And I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I think that'll probably do it for us here this week. This time.
A couple of weeks, but Destiny wise, not a lot has been going on.
Yeah, I mean,
we've been touching ground.
Yeah, like literally, I was trying to think of how to say that. I've been doing other shit. I've been out of the house. I've been out of town. I've been playing Marvel's Midnight Suns. I've been trying to not romance Wolverine, but just hang out with Wolverine and Blade. That's what I'm doing. We're watching movies and we're stargazing. That game is weird.
I've been making friends as an adult, and then just going to back fucking gigs and burning myself the fuck out.
Hell yeah, different kind of challenge mode there.
The least social of the two of us has been the most social the last fortnight, and it's been exhausting.
Yeah.
But worth it. Worth it.
And now you go back into your little hole.
Yeah. I got to scream for an entire night about how much I hate the police and the government. It was really good.
See, I just do that. That's just part of my...
Stray from the Path put on a really good show.
Yeah. I really want to see those guys live. I wasn't able to make this tour work in terms of schedule to be able to see them, but yeah, they're on my list of like, I've seen enough live clips where I'm like, I reckon this is a good time.
Craig Reynolds goes the absolute fuck off on drums. amazing giant man.
Is he tall?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But also stacked as well.
Just
it was an interesting line of shows. It was Nothing But Thieves, Sleep Token, and then Stray from the Path.
Yeah.
Musical whiplash.
That just sounds like a good time to me.
It was a good week.
Yeah.
And then I got norovirus.
Hell yeah. Your body is paying for the sins of the past in some way or another.
I drank too much beer and got norovirus.
Not related, just coincidental.
Yeah.
You don't get norovirus from beer, kids, or I would have had it a lot more. But yeah, we're going to go do some Guardian Games shit.
Yeah.
Try and get some medals, get some titles, and get some horse disturbers.
I love a good horse disturbance.
That just sounds like horses breaking into your house.
Oh no.
That's real bad. I don't love that at all.
Public disturbance, but it's horses.
Let's see.
Horsey.
If you're not a horse, like this channel. If you are not a horse, subscribe to this channel.
Fuck the horses and fuck the 1 2.
If you're not a horse, tell a friend about Erico Blueberry. And if you are a horse, get the fuck out of my house.
If you're a police horse, extra fuck you.
If you're a police horse, you're being exploited to support the capitalist regime. It's not your fault.
The class traders known as police horses.
I'm just imagining, like, instead of a hammer and sickle, it's a hammer and horseshoe. Rise up, comrade.
Hoofed brethren.
Well, on that note, let's get out of here. Fuck capitalism, always and forever. But play some Destiny. That's the one part of capitalism we're happy to engage with. It's a video game for nerds. Bye.
See ya. Fuck horses. Not to get political, but fuck horses.
If I can just get on my soapbox for 1 minute. So in the late 1800s, fuck cops, fuck horses.
Fuck equestrian.
Fuck dressage. Fuck jockeys. Fuck steeplechase. I'm trying to think of more horse stuff.